Topic of this video is rational equation applications, problem number 2. This is a problem that is very similar to the problem in that worksheet. Your camera determines the focal distance required for your picture to be in focus using the lens equation 1 over f minus 1 over s equals 1 over d, where the focal distance to the object from the lens, d, is related to the focal length, f, and the distance from the lens to the film, s. If an object is placed 9 centimeters from a lens with a focal length of 5 centimeters, how far from the lens is the image, the film, formed? Okay, so once again, the key to being successful in a problem like this is knowing what the variables mean. So let's go ahead and look carefully at that information. We have that the focal distance to the object from the lens is d. So distance from the object to the lens is d. Next, we have that the focal length is f. And finally, we have the distance from the lens to the film is s. Okay, so now in our last sentence, it says, if an object is placed 9 centimeters from a lens. So that's an object 9 centimeters from a lens. That's telling me d, distance from object to lens. So d equals 9. With a focal length of 5 centimeters. That's telling me f equals 5. How far from the lens is the image? The film. So lens to film is what we want to know. S equals our unknown. S equals question mark. Okay, so we're going to take this equation and we're going to replace the letters. So 1 over f minus 1 over s equals 1 over d. And we put in the numbers that we now know. So we get 1 over 5 minus 1 over s equals 1 over 9. And that's the equation we have to solve. 1/5 minus 1 over s equals 1 over 9. 1/5 minus 1 over s equals 1 over 9. All right, so how do we solve this problem? Well, the first step is to find the least common denominator of all our denominators. So we've got a 5, an s, and a 9. Working just with the numbers, the least common multiple in 5 and 9 can be found by listing the multiples of each one of those values until a number shows up more than once. There's all the multiples of 5 that I can fit on the screen. Okay, in this column, I'm just adding 5 over and over again. In this column, I'm just adding 9 over and over again. These are called multiples of 5 and multiples of 9. Since I want the least common multiple, that means I want the smallest number that is common to both lists. That would be this number, 45. And then, of course, we also have an s as one of our denominators, so we're going to put 45s as our multiplying factor. So both sides of our equation now get multiplied by 45s. Okay, on the right, I'm going to multiply, and I'm going to remember that 45s is the same as 45s over 1. So the 45 is in the top, the 9 is in the bottom, and 45 divided by 9 is 5. So I can replace 49 divided by 9 with 5 over 1. Therefore, on the right side, I have 5 over 1 times the s, which is 5s. And on the left side, we have to use the distributive property, which we will do in the next part of this video.